Welcome to another edition of Our City. A few things going around the city of Elizabeth this week. On Wednesday, November 8th, around 5 o'clock in the evening, I'm going to join the Greater Elizabeth Chamber of Commerce for their Business After Hours networking event. This will be held at the Crown Plaza Hotel, located at 901 Spring Street. For more information, please call the Chamber, 908-355-9600. And on Friday, I think it's 7600, 355-7600. And on Friday, November 10th, please make a note that City Hall will be closed in honor of Veterans Day. On Saturday, November 11th, Missionaries on a Mission will have their pre-Thanksgiving celebration, and this event will be held from 9 a.m. to noon at the New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church, located at 865 East Jersey Street. And at 11 a.m. on Saturday, the City of Elizabeth will have their annual Veterans Day ceremony will take place. This event will be at the Winfield Scott Park across the street from City Hall. And on Monday, November 13th through Friday, November 17th, I'm going to join the New Jersey League of Municipalities. It will be the 106th annual conference in Atlantic City titled Realizing Tomorrow's Potential. This annual conference is the largest gathering of public officials in the United States. Thousands of delegates will have the opportunity to attend educational sessions, workshops dealing with topics such as land use, public health, housing, economic development, public safety, taxation, and budgeting. For more information, please visit the League of Municipalities website at njslom.com. I will be chairing two committees on economic development and the future of urban communities in the state of New Jersey. If you need additional information concerning these events or any other events, please call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. Please stay with us after these messages, where we're going to talk with members of the Greater Elizabeth Chamber, EDMO, and tourism, and a nonprofit foundation, Elizabeth Shines.
We're creating tomorrow's jobs today. Kane University.
Welcome back to Our City, where I'm pleased to be joined by Gordon Haas, the Executive Director of the Elizabeth Chamber of Commerce, Miss Jennifer Costa. What is your title, Jennifer?
Director for the Elizabeth Destination Marketing Organization. Also,
and Lauren Ferrigno.
Yes.
Special Assistant Director.
Batman yes.
Of Elizabeth Destination Marketing Organization.
That's my code name.
Now, the Elizabeth Shines Foundation is a great idea, and it's came from all of you.
Yes.
Jennifer, why don't you get us started on what is the Elizabeth Shines Foundation?
So the Elizabeth Shines Foundation is a new funding mechanism for beautifications to help Elizabeth shine. So projects such as lighting up monuments at night, lighting up different buildings, the architectural buildings in Elizabeth that are significant to our city skyline. It's to help pay for planters, signage throughout the city. So really, regardless where you are, it's not conducive to one section of our city. It's going to be throughout. And it's just to help us become more conducive to tourism.
And the mission of Elizabeth Shines?
Mission is to beautify the city, is to improve upon what we have already and make it shine.
Right, like when you go to different areas like Wildwood or Las Vegas or New York, downtown area, they have like artifacts and monuments or whatever that represent the city and the tourism in that city where people go to take pictures. So, trying to appropriately brand the city in a way that's going to make people see the branding and understand that it's Elizabeth, New Jersey, just from that branding, and kind of take us to that next level of tourism with that.
So how is the Elizabeth Shines going to work with EDMO, Elizabeth Destination Marketing, and the Go Elizabeth, New Jersey? How does that all come together?
EDMO is designed and was approved by the City Council of Elizabeth and basically created one source of funding for us, and that's the tourism fee that the hotels charge our guests and our visitors. In order to do an audit every year, which is required by City Council and by Community Development, DCA,
State of New Jersey.
State of New Jersey requires it, a single source audit However, during the course of our existence, we've discovered that when we run events, sometimes the promoters want to give us a donation as a result of the quality of the work we've done. We can't accept that at Elizabeth, at Destination Marketing Organization. So we created Elizabeth Shines as a place to accept those funds, those fees, donations from corporations. There are some corporations now that are willing to put up banners around the city. So the money will come into Elizabeth Shines, and Elizabeth Shines will be dedicated to spending that money on improving the city.
And Jennifer, the receptive to the organization, how's that going?
So it's going
Kind of
great.
brand new.
We're getting ready to put together some renderings and ideas so people can have a better visual and an understanding of what we want to do. So I think that'll help even enhance the way people are receiving the concept. But it's something that our city has been needing for a while, and there's talks of how can we do this, and we're presenting a solution to partner.
So Lauren, some examples of some of the projects that you're working on that are planning in the first year.
So we're looking to do some signage through Midtown with the walking tour, to get the walking tour a little bit more visible. We're looking to have branded planners going, in our Midtown and Elizabeth Avenue sections, lighting up different monuments and buildings throughout the city with LED lights. So when the planes are flying overhead, the first thing you do is look out your window, right, when you're landing.
Not me.
People are going, not you?
No, I
No?
don't particularly want to look out the window. I just want the plane to land.
Well, no, I think that goes for everybody, but most people, if they're on a window seat,
They
they're
look out
taking
the
a
window?
peek and they're seeing what they're flying into.
No, I'm a white knuckle flyer. I'm probably holding
Are
on
you?
to something at that point. Yeah.
Okay. Well, next time maybe just peek
Look
a little
out
bit.
the window?
A little bit.
After we get the lights up.
Lighting up the monuments and everything, so people are seeing these LED lights and they're like, "What is that? I want to see what that is." Kind of drawing that, attention to us. So those are just some of the ideas.
Well, like we have a Civil War monument that nobody knows exists.
Exactly. That's one of our first
right.
projects.
That's one of our
Right.
first projects.
We want to light that up at night. So this way, when you drive around Europe, there's monuments all around the cities, and at night it's
Must
the
be
most
good to have a job in
beautiful.
tourism. You get to drive around Europe. As the mayor, I don't get to drive around Europe.
I don't get to drive around Europe.
Neither do I.
Well, Jennifer, it's good to have your job that you get to drive around Europe. So tell us more about that.
So more specifically, we want to have these monuments lit up at night, just so that way, again, people feel like it's a more welcoming place and visibly, having a nice visible aesthetic to.
Well, that Civil War monument on North Broad Street, I mean, obviously that triangle has been shrunk over the years, and so now it's all built up and there's no room for pedestrian walking and no room
Correct.
for viewing it because the roads are right next
Correct.
to it. But it's an interesting little corner triangle in the middle of the highway.
Absolutely.
There are other places in town that, for example, the First Presbyterian Church and Snyder Academy, where the state of New Jersey started. It's not lit up. At night, it's dark.
Same thing with.
We want to highlight those historical sites around the
Same
city.
thing with St. Patrick's Church down at the port. You can see that from the New Jersey Turnpike. It's iconic to Elizabeth skyline, but at night, if we had that lit up, it would be more kind of welcoming.
And today with LED lighting, you can play with color. I mean, the new Gothel's Bridge has lights that can change color, like the Empire State Building does in
And
New
our new
York.
cupola is going to be able to do that.
Okay,
Oh,
so
very
We're doing
nice.
that on a new cupola.
Oh,
Right, so
beautiful.
all of
So
that-
you're
I know that,
right
didn't
in
we?
line.
we didn't. So
That's
you're right in
perfect.
line with Elizabeth Shines.
We're going to
Perfect.
put up, we'll have the capacity to put up different lights,
Oh,
different colors.
wonderful.
Different times
Wonderful.
a year.
Elizabeth Cupola, yeah.
That's nice.
So that is completely in line with the initiative that we can apply these funds throughout the city to different projects.
Correct.
Okay. And so where do you see the foundation going over the next 5 years,
So
Jennifer?
ideally, if we could do one large project a year and maybe one or two smaller projects, it would be something that would have a sustainability. So it's not, we would do it once and forget about it, and continue each year with new projects.
Right.
And Lauren, what do you think people learn? How can they find out about the foundation?
They can go through the EDMO website, goelizabethnj/Elizabeth Shines, and on that page, as well as on our mobile app, there's a Elizabeth Shines page as well. That allows people to donate to the foundation. That allows people to really get a better understanding of the details of it when we were incorporated, what type of nonprofit we're going to be, kind of those little details that go into starting a foundation, as well as our mission statement, our long-term goals, examples of what we want to do, different events that we have coming up that are going to act as fundraisers for the events.
And just an example of, we did the past 2 car shows in Elizabeth, and the producers of that car show have donated money back into Elizabeth to the Elizabeth Shines Foundation that we will be using for future projects. And moving forward, when we bring these larger productions in, a portion of admission tickets will come back into Elizabeth.
So what are some of the next events coming up, since Lauren fed you into that last question?
Yeah, there you go. So we are actually planning a debut, and it's going to be a masquerade ball, and it's going to be January 20th. So it'll be right after the new year, a new organization.
You try that one on?
I don't think so.
Got our little Elizabeth Shines. And the concept of the masquerade ball is, regardless of professional interests or sectors that people are involved in, even open to residents, it's going to be a one extravaganza of the year, and it'll become an annual event. So all proceeds from the Elizabeth Shines Masquerade Ball will come back into future projects for Elizabeth. And that's January 20th.
As you know, we're bringing tours into the city as well. You've had the opportunity to meet several of the groups. Those tour organizations are also thanking us by donating a certain percentage of what they collect for their tour price back to Elizabeth Shine. So all of those things are coming in. It's going to take a while to build up the funds, but we see this as a very positive way to make an impact in the city. We're in the process of filing with the IRS for a 501c4, something new. I didn't know that even existed. It's a social organization, and that's how the IRS thinks we should be categorized, so we're hoping that we will get that. It takes anywhere up to 9 months to a year to get it, but we're filing.
Well, I just wanted to tell you, 25 years ago, I never thought I had to deal with issues on terrorism. I also never thought I'd have to deal with people coming to our city in a tourism mode, and you've done that, all of you, and it's absolutely terrific. It's brought new life, new vitality, and new people to our community. So I thank you for your leadership on this issue.
Thank you
and
for the opportunity.
Look forward to continuing
Thank you
working
for
with
your
to better
leadership.
the city. Thank you very much. For Gordon Haas, Lauren Ferrigno, and Jennifer Costa, please stay with us after these messages, where we're going to talk with some students about a recent high school play, Mother Courage.
We're an American original, dependable, historic, nuanced, with all the comforts of home, even when you're just visiting. So we're celebrating for all that we've left untouched and all that we've changed. A place where the past meets the future. So consider this your invitation.
We've been celebrating here in Elizabeth for 350 years, and we're just getting started. Welcome back to our city, and for the second half of the show, I'm pleased to be joined by 3 students at the Thomas Jefferson Arts Academy under the direction of Miss Sandra Toll, who just recently put on a play called Mother Courage. First to my left is Miss Ariana Montoya, and you had the lead actress in the play, right?
Yes.
And Figueroa, you were the composer.
Yes.
And Miss Jada Rodgers. Jada, you were managing backstage?
Yes.
It could be hectic, right, Jada?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Does everybody listen to you?
Yeah. After you have to assert yourself. You have to show them I'm not just one of your peers. You have to listen to me now.
Right.
So you have to be very assertive when
So it's a
giving
role
direction.
of being leadership, right?
Yes.
So tell me about. First, we'll start with you, Ariana. What made you're a sophomore? You told me before the show.
Yes, I'm a sophomore.
So it was your big sister who said you should try plays, huh?
Yes, my older sister, Ariana Montoya, we were in a car ride one day. We were coming back from an event, and she was like, I think you'd be really good at Broadway shows and musicals. So when I came to Jeff, I decided to try it out.
And boy, you didn't get a musical this time, did you?
Sort of. A play with music.
Well, yeah, I guess Henny would object to me saying this was not a musical, right? Because you were on the piano the whole time.
Yeah.
I was sitting right behind you.
Yeah.
You didn't know that. It's 3 rows behind you. So, Jada, tell me what made you get involved in the play and working backstage? You want to be the boss?
I'm going to be honest. I walked into school 2 days before school started to say hi to Miss Toll, and she asked me, and I was like, okay, I'll take on the responsibility. I wasn't sure what to expect. I wasn't really sure what a stage manager does. But once I got into it, she started giving me directions of what to do, and once I got into the feel of it, it became more easier. I just took it as it came.
Miss Toll has that ability to draw you in, doesn't she?
Definitely.
Yeah. It comes relatively easy for her. Yeah. So, why do you all take drama classes?
I do. I'm a
You
drama
do.
4
I
student.
do too.
And
Yeah.
you do.
I do not.
And you do not.
No.
So what kind of arts classes do you take?
I take music technology and musical theater. It's
Music-
kind of like drama, but it's more into
Okay.
music and
The
musical.
two of you take drama classes.
Mm-hmm.
And what year are you, Jada?
4.
You're a senior.
Yep.
And what are you, Henny?
A senior.
You're a senior. So you're the young one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you can tell me a little about your experience in drama, and then we can ask Jada what to expect, what you can expect in the next 2 years. What are your experiences in drama?
My experiences in drama, I started with drama 1 and I liked it a lot. And that's when I decided, okay, let me take up acting to see how I can do this. It was a very fun experience. And I'm in drama 2 right now, as well as the musical theater class with Mrs. Toll. And there we're learning a little more about origins of musical theater. And
So Jada, what can she expect for the next 2 years? What have you been through?
I've had Miss Toll since I was a sophomore, I believe, and Miss Toll's a very in-depth teacher. So you're not gonna learn you're not gonna get a script and just read through it. You're gonna evaluate it a lot. You're gonna learn the history behind a certain play or like a theater term or why it is that way, and the skills that you learn in drama, you kind of find yourself applying it into life. Because when I first started drama, I didn't really know how to evaluate people or how to see a play. After learning with Miss Toll, you learn to see plays different ways, how to evaluate them different ways, or people in general, like walking around, you'll remember something you learned and then you apply it. You're gonna learn a lot.
Henny, have you had Miss Toll?
I do musical theater this year.
So it's a little different than drama. Tell me about your experiences.
Well, we, like Ariana said, we learned the origins of musicals, where it came from, how it was inspired to become a musical and stuff like that, the music aspect of it, as well as the lyrics and all of that, and how they're put together to create an entire show.
Must be fascinating, because I love the arts, but I've never taken the time to learn it or to study it the way you folks have. So how long does it take to practice or get yourself in shape for this music? How long does it take you?
when it comes to play, we usually have rehearsal time. We had rehearsal time about 2.5 months-ish, and we started over the summer. So over the summer break, we familiarized ourselves with the parts.
Oh, so you started in the summer?
Yeah, I really started like analyzing the script and things like that in the summer. And when we came back, we really started like, first day of school, we had rehearsal after school. And that's when we all really started to focus on it and really get into our characters and our roles.
Is it every day, Ariana? Practice?
Yes, it's every day. And Saturdays as well, from 8 to 4.
And Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
Now, stage crew have to be there every day?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, even days that we get off, like Columbus Day, we're at school rehearsing.
And the composer?
Yes, I have to be there.
So what do you got to do? I mean, really?
Well, during the summer, I actually worked on the compositions, and then when they start going over the script all together, I just sit there. Maybe I hear something different. I want the song to go in a different feeling. Then I'll just take notes down and change it up a little bit.
So where did you learn how to play the piano?
I'm self-taught.
Are you really?
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much last week. It was well done. Some of the projects that you've worked on, which one would be your favorite project, Ariana?
Oh,
Is this your first one?
No, I worked as well as in The Heights, which was the musical for last year.
Lin-Manuel.
Lin-Manuel
Yeah.
Miranda. He's one of my favorite
Well,
composers.
he has to be. In the Heights and Hamilton were two huge hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I have a favorite. I love both In the Heights and Mother Courage for their own different things. They're two very different shows. In the Heights was my first show, and I got to play one of my dream roles, Nina. I was the understudy,
it was very dear to me for those reasons. But Mother Courage is also very special to me because I got to originate one of Henny's amazing compositions, and I got to play this role that's very different from myself. And it was a very new experience, and getting to interact with the audience at the beginning and sing to a few people, and it was very fun. And I think I love them both equally in their own ways.
Within the Heights is a little more lighter than Mother Courage.
Definitely.
It's probably a calm statement on my part, huh? But Mother Courage, I don't remember the 30-Year War from history books, and I struggled to grasp it all. Is the story based on anything real, or is it story based on strictly fiction? Do you know?
It's more of a historical fiction piece. We aren't quite sure if Mother Courage or anyone like her really existed, but we are certain that the 30 Years' War happened, that...
We know that.
Yeah, we know like when the generals died generally, because there is a scene that I do with the chaplain, and it's after the death of a major general, General Tilly.
Right, Tilly.
And we know the accurate year of that because it's like recorded.
So in the preparation for that and the emotional preparation for that, how do you do that?
A lot of it was from my own mother, because especially with the last scene where Mother Courage is cradling her dead daughter in her arms, it's very emotional and very hard to get through, because my mother would always say that she couldn't live without me or my little brother. And it was just that feeling that I would try to apply to that scene as she's cradling her last known alive child and looking up to the sky, asking God, why? Why did this happen?
Yeah, but Mother Courage moved on in a hurry, didn't she?
She had to. That's what they had to do in order to survive at the time. Because if she were to stay there any longer, she would lose business, and she would have to stay on that farm.
And she would have lost that damn wagon that she couldn't
She would have
let go
lost
of.
everything. Yeah.
She didn't let go of that wagon. How did you get to pull that wagon all the way around? You had those... you didn't personally
I wasn't
have to do it.
responsible for
I know that, but you had to make sure the people that were in the right place pulling that wagon, right?
Yeah. In addition to other things, the wagon was a major part, but there's also other little things that were included into the scene. You have to work around the wagon, you have to work with the wagon. There was also a cannon that was also huge. So yeah.
Yeah, that cannon, I was waiting for it to... I'm glad I was away from it. Political enemies could have shot the cannon at me. So Henny, Ariana mentioned something about she got to do a beautiful composition that you put together. Was that an original? Did you take it off of something? And tell me about that composition she spoke about.
It was an original composition. I started doing the composition for the show during the summer, and basically I have a keyboard at home, so I just sit there and play a tune if I like the tune and I feel like it goes along with the play in a twisted way, then I'll put it in there.
Well, everything was twisted about this play. So I told Miss Toll in the hallway, I said, this is not your normal musical. And I guess you can be more creative than Henny, right? Because a musical's probably, all the music's basically set.
Yeah.
You got to be a little more creative.
I did.
Especially since we don't know the real true history of what happened in those 30 years. It's before a lot of people wrote things down.
Mm-hmm.
So would you prefer to be challenged creatively, or would you prefer to really do well on pieces that have been done by others for many years?
I like to be challenged.
You do?
I do. I find it's a lot more interesting.
Does somebody like Ariana challenge you during that original composition?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Me and her work well together.
That's what I'm getting at. You worked well together.
Yeah.
Oh. So how many plays have you done backstage now, Jada?
I started sophomore year. I did spotlights for In the Heights and West Side. West Side was sophomore, In the Heights was my junior year. Yeah, I liked it. And like I said,
we all know the ending, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, one day before school, I just walked in and Miss Soul just offered me the job, and I took it.
When I was there last week, I didn't know the ending to this play. I mean, I knew the ending to West Side Story, but I didn't know the ending to this play.
You've never heard of it before?
No, never heard of Mother Courage before. This was a new one for me. And she couldn't speak, right? Your daughter in the play?
Yes. My daughter, Katrin, she was mute due to something that happened with a soldier, and she stayed mute. And I feel like Katrin's kind of vocal when it comes to, like, she uses her hands as much as possible, and her voice, she grunts as well when she really needs to get a point across.
So, you know, the one thing about that play that I keep saying it was seedy, what was the deal with you packing up with the guy and leaving her behind? And then you came back, but, you know, that kind of bothered me a little bit from the audience point of view, that you would actually leave the deaf girl behind, right? That had to be a moment in discussion, no?
When Mother Courage, she didn't like leave with the guy. She went to go get soup, and she was like planning to bring something back for her daughter.
Yeah, but you didn't leave that impression in the beginning, I don't think. You think so? You think the audience was to get your impression? I got a different impression, that's all. I thought you were running away with the guy. And then you came back. Could you see how the audience could get that?
I could see how the audience could get that, but there's like many times, especially during the song that the cook sings before, he does explain that he's singing to a parsonage where they can get soup, and he says, like, let's go to like the parsonage. And Katrin does try to run away, though. I think she gets the impression that you're getting when it comes to the scene, because she does try to run away, but Mother Courage does hurry back as soon as she sees her daughter try to leave.
I got the impression that she was trying to run away because she thought her mother already left. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Henny?
I think that Katrin actually, that's the impression she got as well.
Yeah, it was different.
Because if you see your mom just leave with the cook down without you, you might think she's leaving you behind.
With the cook, yeah. So what's fascinating about this play is people in the audience could be left to different interpretations at different times of the play. And that's what I probably found fascinating about a lot of it. So you all have your set roles, so how you convey them to the audience and then challenge the audience to come to a specific point of view. Miss Toll probably has a whole other way to look at this play too, I'm sure. Maybe she could talk about it in class. So, do you participate in other performing arts activities? Any of you play instruments? You play the piano, I know. Anything else?
Yeah, not really. I was gonna do concerts for the school. Sometimes maybe I'll help out with like the guitars or something, but mostly just piano and so on.
Good. Yeah. So you two are seniors. What are you going to do next? Henny, you want to go first? Where are you going next year? You going to school? You going to hang out? Going to get a job? What are you doing?
Going to school.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to plan. The hard part is.
Well, my daughter's a senior too, so she's struggling with the same thought process you are.
Yeah, it's very hard to pick where I think I belong.
I agree. It's difficult. How about you, Jada?
I have 3 choices, all in the South, so I don't plan to stay in Jersey.
You're out.
Yeah.
You coming back?
I might, depending on how, I guess,
how
college life
south?
is. My choices are in Maryland, Delaware, and Georgia.
Oh, okay. Well, Georgia's south. Maryland and Delaware, not so much. And you have 2 more years. You're a sophomore, right?
Yeah, I have 2 more years in high school.
So will I have the ability to look forward to seeing you in some future plays?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Because Miss Toll tweets me when the play is on, and then I read her Twitter feed, and that's how I get there. So I want to thank the 3 of you for taking the time to join me on the show. I know we tape in the afternoon so you get out of school, but that's a big deal that you really wanted to come and join me, and I thank you for that.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you
I look forward to seeing you in a future play.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I first of all want to thank Ariana Montoya and Henny Figueroa and Jada Rodgers for not only a great performance of Mother Courage, but taking the time to join us on the show. And for the first segment of the show, Lauren, Jennifer, and Gordon. And I'm Chris Bolwage. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.
We have some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kane University.